Hello and welcome back to Focus Atlanta. Thanks so much for continuing to watch. In this segment, we're going to talk a little bit about your hearing health. I'm here with Sean Patel, and we're going to talk a little bit about some things that perhaps we can be looking out for in our parents.
Thanks for having me. I'm so happy to be here.
Now, okay, I think all of us are at a point in our lives, many of us are at a point in our lives where we are seeing some things from our parents that are making us wonder, are they having hearing loss? Are there any signs that we should be looking for?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, for me, it was when I first noticed my grandfather had started developing hearing loss when I was younger. He just started saying, "What? Huh?" Like repeating himself constantly because he couldn't hear you. So he thought that, you didn't hear him. And the family kind of makes it obvious. I think if you're surrounded by your loved ones and they're starting to tell you, you should get your hearing checked, that's usually the first sign, And then if you're starting to not be able to hear somebody correctly for yourself, and that's obviously a clear sign. And it's always the kids or the spouses that are the first to notice, for sure.
For sure, for sure. Now, in terms of seeing our regular practitioner, are there tests that we should ask for once we get of a certain age? Is there anything that they could perhaps be looking out for?
Absolutely. There are tons of hearing tests you can take. You can go to your doctor and get a hearing test done, which is always recommended. There's even online hearing tests now you can take with a pair of headphones to see if you have any frequency loss in your ears.
Okay. Is there an age range? Because I guess I feel like hearing is one of those things that it depends on the person. It depends on what type of lifestyle you've had. Have you been listening to loud music? Is there anything that we should, is there an age range that we should be paying attention to?
Yeah, absolutely. So, normally the average person with hearing loss is typically considered older, right? You've got your 50 plus, but it's typically 60, 65 plus. That being said, hearing loss is developing at a faster rate than ever in the population, definitely in a younger audience as well. I know for myself, I've gone to a lot of really loud music festivals and events and concerts. And, I'm starting to suspect that I may need to get my own hearing checked at some point soon. So
okay. Now, you see, you brought up a very good point. Some of the things that we've been doing throughout our lifetime, we don't really consider that being, a hindrance to our health later, like those super loud concerts and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But it really may have taken a toll.
Yeah, absolutely. Unfortunately, hearing loss is a degenerative condition. You can't reverse it. The technology, the medicine doesn't exist yet. So you kind of get one set of ears and you really want to protect them. I always advise wearing hearing protection anywhere you go where the environment is loud enough where you can't really hear the person next to you. And if you're wearing headphones and you're playing music so loud that if somebody were to talk to you in the same room, you wouldn't be able to hear them, that's going to be too loud and potentially cause hearing damage as well.
Okay. And should we be paying attention to those environmental things as well? Like we go into mom's house and the TV is super duper crazy loud, or,
Absolutely.
we
Yeah.
sit in the
That's
car.
a great point. Yeah.
Okay.
If you notice that mom or dad is playing their TV super loud, the volume's at like 50 or 70 when the rest of the family watches it at 20, then that's definitely a clear sign that they're struggling to hear.
Okay, all right. When we want to learn more, is there a website? Could we learn more about, I guess, tips to look out for and things to do for our loved ones? Is there a place that we could go?
Yeah, absolutely. We have some materials on our blog on audionhearing.com on our website. There's great resources online in general. If you just Google, signs of hearing loss or how to help with certain situations, like the Hearing Loss Association has great materials. The National Institute of Health has some materials as well. So, but ultimately, it's really easy to tell. It's one of those things that's easy to tell and sometimes hard to treat, right? It's like you kind of just know if someone you love has hearing loss. It's obvious if you have it yourself. And I think the hardest part and the thing that people need to focus on is taking a step to actually do something for it, right? Because traditional hearing aids historically have cost thousands of dollars, and you go see your doctor and you get that information, but then you're told a number that sometimes is just impossible for the average person. And I know it was for our family early on. And that's why companies like myself exist with over-the-counter hearing aids now. The FDA realized this was a huge problem that needed to be solved. So thankfully, a couple of years ago, they completely legalized and created a new space for over-the-counter hearing aids. So now you can walk into a Walmart nationwide, pick our product off the shelf. You can go to audioandhearing.com or Amazon, and you're able to get a product to your door with no hearing test required, no prescription required, and you can start getting the help you need, within minutes.
Oh, that's phenomenal. Because again, we just want to be in a space to help the ones that we love, help those, that are in that space. And it sounds like Audien is making it a little easier for us. It was a pleasure to meet you. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. All right, guys, none of us are getting any younger. Take the opportunity to go to the website and learn more. And stay tuned. 2 more Focus Atlanta. We'll be right back.